I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, like the last several weeks, it doesn't make sense, like as far as like the sequential order of it. But, my vehicle, it just doesn't want to start. Like you turn the key and all the lights come on, the music comes on, the fans on the heat and all that stuff come on, but it just won't turn over. Like the engine won't start. And so this morning, I popped the hood. I'm like wiggling the battery. I'm like tinkering and fooling around with stuff, just trying to figure out what it is. I'm searching online, doing like different searches of forums and stuff like that. Everybody's got an opinion as to what's going on with it, but I just know that it's not starting, right away. And then sometimes, you wiggle around with it, you finagle with it, and then it, it gets going. Obviously, it's got going because I drove my daughter to school today and I'm headed to work. Now, it could be a big deal, but I don't think it's a big deal because this is a familiar issue. I mean, my wife and I had to replace the little clamps that hold the battery positive and negative leads, but a couple of years ago. So it could be that. It could be something. I mean, it could be a starter or something like that. But it's creating some kind of issue. Now, it could be a big thing or a little thing. But for the reference of this morning, what I'm talking to you about, it could be a little thing. Little things are interesting things because little things can create big issues. Like little things in a vehicle, for instance. I mean, it could be the most small, minuscule issue that just requires a little change in something. It could be a spark plug. It could be a oil filter. It could be something like that. It could be an oil plug that came loose. I mean, anything small like that can need an adjustment, and everything will work fine. And it's just like that in life. I mean, like, how often do we leave the little things alone? And not that they become big things, but they just begin to affect all different parts of our life. Like they create problems. They create issues. They keep us from being they keep us from being successful. They keep us from accomplishing the tasks that we need to. They keep us from doing what is necessary each day. They affect our productivity. I mean, like, seriously, we got to begin to address the big things and the little things. I mean, yeah, of course we need to focus on the big things, but we need to make sure that we notice, like, there may be setbacks or small, unnoticeable dilemmas that eventually become big things. Like it could be a little thing over and over and over and over again, and it just creates a massive setback because it's something that we've ignored for so long. So, like, we got to get to the point of praying more. We got to get to the point of asking God to give us some direction. Like, Jesus, what's going on in my life? What is creating some issues? What's happening within me that may be a little thing, but it's creating a big issue? Like, Jesus, what do you need to address in my life? What do you need to help me through? What do you need me to do so that this thing is found? Like, I'm not going to find it unless I get into the engine. I'm not going to find it unless I go to the repairman. I'm not going to find it unless I begin to move and tinker and mess with things in the engine. Sometimes you got to move and tinker and mess with things in your heart, like in a positive way, so that you can see what connection's broken, or you can see what is not making it beat in the rhythm that it's supposed to, or what's making it not work effectively. Spiritually speaking, like, a little thing can damage a lot about your spirituality. A little thing can damage a lot about your psyche. A little thing can damage a lot about you emotionally. A little thing can damage you a lot bit physically. I mean, you could have an ingrown toenail, for instance, and it just makes you walk funny. Like, it's not like a big deal. It's not hurting you a whole lot. You've been dealing with it, dressing it, that kind of stuff, and it's getting a little bit better. But this little thing can cause you to walk funny. And next thing you know, your back hurts, your hips hurt, your thigh muscles hurt in a different kind of way because you ignored it, you didn't address it, you didn't deal with it. Guys, let's make some focal points important today. Let's ask God to help us to find the little things that are really necessary to deal with before they create big issues in our lives. I'm praying for you. Amen. God bless.